The battlefield was a desolate wasteland of scorched earth and shattered metal. Amid the wreckage, Karina, a Zaltharian elite warrior, struggled to move. Her body was built for war, 7 feet tall, armored in natural scales, and boasting strength that could snap steel like twigs. But even her formidable physiology couldn't heal fast enough from the plasma burns that laced her limbs. Karina's mission had gone catastrophically wrong. The ambush by a rival faction had decimated her squad. Alone, wounded, and stranded on an uncharted death world, she faced certain death. Her vision blurred as she collapsed onto the ash-covered ground. The last thing she saw was a silhouette, a figure moving towards her. When Karina awoke, the first thing she noticed was the absence of pain. Her wounds were cleaned and bandaged. The second thing she noticed was the smell, an unfamiliar but strangely comforting aroma of herbs and something cooked. She tried to sit up, but a calm voice stopped her. "Easy there, big lady. You're not going to win any fights if you tear those stitches." Karina turned her head to see a human. He was smaller than her, perhaps 6 feet tall, with a lean frame and dark hair. His clothes were patched, and his face bore the wear of someone who had seen too many struggles. "You saved me," she rasped, her voice weak but incredulous. He smiled, crouching beside her. "Sure did. Name's Owen. Found you half dead out there, and figured you might need a hand. Lucky for you, I've got a knack for patching things up." Karina blinked, her pride warring with her gratitude. Zaltharians were taught to distrust humans, soft, fragile creatures unworthy of the galaxy's respect. And yet, this one had saved her life. Over the following days, Karina recovered under Owen's care. His home was a small, makeshift shelter nestled in the wreckage of a long-forgotten starship. It was primitive but resourceful, much like its owner. "Why do you live here, human?" she asked one evening as he stirred a pot of stew over a fire. "Long story," Owen said, glancing up at the stars. "Let's just say I got tired of people trying to use me. Figured this little slice of nowhere would be quieter." Karina studied him. His casual demeanor belied a sharp mind and capable hands. He had not only saved her, but had done so with skill that rivaled even her people's medics. "Your skills are impressive," she admitted reluctantly. He chuckled. "Coming from someone who could probably crush me with one hand, I'll take that as a compliment." For the first time in days, Karina smiled. Their peace was short-lived. One night, a Zaltharian dropship appeared on the horizon. Karina recognized the markings. They belonged to her people, but these warriors were loyal to the faction that had betrayed her. "They've come to finish the job," she growled, standing despite her lingering injuries. Owen grabbed his makeshift rifle. "Then let's not make it easy for them." The two worked seamlessly, despite their differences. Karina's combat prowess and Owen's tactical ingenuity turned the tide against the attackers. Together, they held their ground, driving the enemy back until the dropship retreated into the night sky. As the smoke cleared, Karina turned to Owen. Her gratitude was beyond words, but it was her next realization that shook her to the core. "I cannot return to my people," she said, her voice heavy. "They will see my survival as a threat. I am dishonored." Owen frowned. "So what now?" She hesitated before speaking. "I owe you my life. Among my people, a debt of this magnitude binds me to you until it is repaid." "You're saying you want to stay?" he asked, raising an eyebrow. Karina nodded solemnly. "Not want. Must. You saved me, human. Now I fight for you." Owen scratched the back of his neck, a wry grin forming. "Well, can't say I've ever had an alien warrior as a roommate before, but I think I can get used to it." In the months that followed, the unlikely pair became an inseparable team. Karina's strength and combat skills complemented Owen's ingenuity and resilience. They protected each other, finding a strange but undeniable harmony. Over time, What began as a debt of honor grew into something more profound, a partnership forged in trust, mutual respect, and the unyielding determination to survive together. Corinna, the once proud Zaltharian warrior, found herself at peace for the first time in her life. And Owen, the solitary human with a knack for survival, finally had someone he could rely on. In the vast, uncaring galaxy, they had found a home in each other.